let me start by telling you, today's project is very, very unique. Actually never done something like this before. Combining a shell with gold. Well, a wedding band, big, exact. Let's go to the bench and I'll tell you more about it. So let me start by giving you a little bit of a backstory. This client came in. Her husband has passed recently, and my condolence to her and the family. But she brought in these pieces. So this is actually a shell that's been worn away by the ocean, and her husband picked up this piece of shell probably, I think she said, about 10 years ago, and he's kept it on his bedside table ever since as his little good luck charm. And it wasn't broken, she actually accidentally broke it. I've got to repair that, and after I've done that, I've got to take his wedding band, melt it down, and then incorporate the wedding band with the shell so she could actually wear it on a daily basis. So this is where the tricky bit comes in, because the shell doesn't like to be worn on a daily basis. So we've got to kind of reinforce it and make it structurally sound so that she'll be able to wear it on a daily basis. I'm saying daily basis is quite a lot, but you know what I mean. I've got to make a pendant using these two pieces, merging them together. And on the inside, there's also an inscription that we'll copy. It says Ruth 1:16, verse 16 and 17. So obviously deeply religious people, and these two pieces carries a lot of meaning and a lot of weight for this customer. So we're going to do our utmost best to the best product possible without it breaking again. So join me in a journey of how I do that. Oh, and for the eagle-eye viewers out there, you may have noticed I am now in my new workshop, and I'll still do a full tour of the workshop if you are interested. So enough yapping, let's get the video started. So sit something like that, and I've got to reinforce there and there. That's basically the idea. There are some pieces missing, but I think I can repair it. I might do a little plate section just to brace it, and then apply some resin, and hopefully that'll keep it together. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to melt this wedding band down and then make more wire out of it, and kind of then use that wire to wrap around this shell. I'm going to make it super thin so it's very pliable and a bit more flexible. And then let's see if we can show you the engraving. It's a bit, yeah, it's not very visible on the camera, but we'll copy that engraving and then do a little tag on the chain to make it work. I've done a rough drawing. So this is the idea. We're going to use the shell. This is after I've prepared the shell. We'll do the wire and wrap it around, and then we're going to do a little tag with the engraving on it and a bail for the chain to go through. Now the chain hasn't arrived yet. Arriving today, hopefully. Fingers crossed. It was supposed to be here on Saturday. Today is Tuesday, but we did have a cyclone over the weekend, so there's a few delays. So let's get started with the shell first, and then we'll mount the wedding band, and yeah, hopefully it goes well. It doesn't turn to shit. Fingers crossed. Now I think the best way to start with this is to actually glue it together, and then after I've glued it, then I will So we'll glue it together, and then after the glue is set, I will then add resin to it. So I'll just wait for that super glue to set. Once that is set, we'll go ahead and apply the resin. Let me just get that droplet. See, there's that chip that I was talking about, and there, but we'll fill that up with resin, clear resin obviously. I just hope this works. And I might do a little plate, like a little brace over there that I'll attach with the resin as well. Perhaps I should do that first. Yeah, let's do that. We'll prep some metal to support that crack, to brace the crack at least, before we apply the resin, because then it'll just be so much stronger once the brace is applied, or once the brace is in place. And then we can melt the wedding band down and make the wire. Okay, so now it's time to apply some resin, because I've let this sit now for about half an hour, and so we'll get some resin. So this is the UV resin, curing resin, and we'll just apply a little dab, fill up that crack and cover the brace.
Looks good on the inside. And we'll just put a dab on the other side where I've glued it as well, just for some extra structure. And that way we have reinforced the shell where it's broken before. What I'll do, I'll just place this in the curing tank. I might just grab a tweezer. That was from a previous project. Like so. What I'm going to do, I'm going to cure it for an hour. Yeah, I'll let that run for an hour, and when that's done, perhaps while that's running, I'll start with the melting down of the wedding band and making the wire, perhaps making the tag, start prepping everything, so once this is cured, I can start with the wrapping. Okay, so I found this little organic looking piece, and I want to try and apply that. Top tip, don't get super glue on your tweezer when you're trying to glue. So when I wrap it, it'll cover that side and this side. Because I know it looks narrow, but with the wire going across this way, we'll get support running this way and that way. And once it's dry, I'll just bend that little piece down into the crack. Ooh, I don't want that. Okay, that's low enough. Just so it doesn't catch on anything. Try again. Yeah, that'll do. We'll fill that bit in with resin, so that tip will keep the resin structure there, and we should be good to go. I can't remember what we said, which is going to be the top. I think this is going to be the top there. Or should we have that? This is the top.
The next thing we want to do is melt the wedding band. So now we've converted that wedding band into a shitload of thin wire. So the next step is get all this wire around this shell, wrapped individually all the way around. So let's get into this. There's no way around it. I've decided I'm going to use that bit for the top, and I'm going to actually, while I'm wrapping the wire, actually make two jump rings, or a jump ring double thick, because the wire is quite thin. I might actually do a treble link and then wrap around the rest again. So hopefully that works out and it doesn't turn to shit. Let's get cracking. So this camera keeps turning off. I don't know what I've recorded and what's not. So I've wrapped this section. The wire snapped off. I started it in there. It's looking a bit wonky. I might actually cut it the back here. There, that might be a better plan. Yeah, let's cut it there. Yes, I like that. Yeah, because that's going to be the front, and then I'll tie it in from there, bring it up the side. I thought I'm going to have too much wire, well, heaps of wire, but it actually doesn't look like it. So I'm going to sneak that one in there, and I have to use pliers. The ideal thing would be to actually anneal this wire, which I did, but I then had to thread it through put it through the draw plate again to make it shiny. I should also mention that I've never done anything like this before. So let's see if I can make a link without it snapping again. So do one. It looks terrible. So it looks a bit better. So let's stick that in there. I must be honest, it's taking up a lot more gold than I actually initially thought, because the customer was concerned that it might not be enough gold to make it. And I said to her jokingly, like, we might need a bit of extra just to safeguard myself. But it actually does look like we won't. This is all the wire I've got left from that wedding band. And I still need to make a tag. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use that same hole there and then bring it back through that groove and then bring it around. Should we cut it? Yeah, let's cut it there. It's coiling up. That's not ideal. So I want to get this one as tight as possible around the original break. Was me. Got to get rid of this kink. I've got to deliver this thing in 3 hours. It's currently 6 o'clock. Client is coming in roughly, I'm expecting any time from 9 o'clock. And I've still got to finish this. So the whole point of that sequence was to indicate that I actually went home last night. So I was just too tired. And this is how far I got. And I still need to do the bottom bit, sections, and then get the tag made and engrave it. Luckily the chain arrived yesterday. So we've got that. She just needs to choose which one she wants. There's 2 options. So we'll get that sorted when she comes in. But I need to have the tag ready with the engraving on it. So when she decides which chain she wants, I need to add the tag to that chain. So let's get back into it. It's proving to be a little bit nasty. Oh, and I still need to resin it to keep all the gold in place. Cool. Let's get back into it. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to use some UV resin, place it in there, and then I'm going to start just fixing some of the wires in place so they don't separate when I do the full resin coating. So I've got my trusty little UV light and I'm ready to go. So I'll place that over there so it makes it easier to get it. Let's turn it off first. First get some resin into the little receptacle. Don't want a lot. That should do. So this one, there's I want to give you a hard time. So let's get some resin on that section first. Put it in front of the UV light. Let's move that out of the way. Now, I think there's about 3 spots that I want to do. That's worked perfectly. I'll do that other one. Get some resin on that first. Let's turn this off. You probably can't see much of what I'm doing, but I'll take a picture when I'm done. Now I'm going to try something I've never tried before. I'm going to dip this bone into the ultrasonic because my grubby fingers made it a bit dirty last night and this morning. So I've got to get that excess grime off. And the only thing I can think of doing it properly is with the ultrasonic. So what I've done, I've cleaned the water, but I didn't make it extremely hot. It's just a little hot, like lukewarm. And let's see, just mind your ears if you're wearing earphones because this one gets a bit noisy. There we go. So what have we learned from this experiment is that bone can actually go into the ultrasonic. I think there's a lot of misconceptions about ultrasonics out there. Actually, I personally think when stones get damaged inside the ultrasonic, it's actually not the ultrasonic waves, that shaky bit, that causes damage in the stones. It's actually the hot water. Because every time I've had an issue in the past, and there hasn't been many, a ruby and a tanzanite that I can remember. And a pearl. But that was a completely different set of circumstances. We don't talk about that. It was always due to heat, never the shakiness. It's always been where the heat has boiled. In the ruby case, the heat has actually caused the lead glass to almost boil out, or I don't know what you want to call it, just get removed out of the stone. And with the tanzanite, it did crack, but once again, I think it was the heat, not the actual ultrasonic waves. Let me know in the comments what you think. It'd be interesting. Okay, so the resin is, the majority of it is set. It's fairly dry and everything. But I will still put it in the tank, UV tank, for about 10 or 15 minutes, and that'll make sure that, or that'll ensure that all the resin is cured properly and it's good to go, and we won't have any issues down the line. Cool, let's go drop it in the tank. So this is just my normal any cubic resin curing tank. Might actually get a tweezer just to keep it upright. That's probably going to fall over when I turn it on. Let's see. Not even a way for me to turn it on. Let's choose a different one. I'll just use a bit of press stick or blue tack. So I don't have any resin there. Oops, I'll do it for 20 minutes. So that should ensure then that all the resin is cured properly or thoroughly, and then in the meantime, I'll make the bale. I hope there's enough metal left from the wedding band to make the bale. After we've made the bale, I still need to make a tag with the engraving on it. So I'll get started on that as well. Let's go do that. So let's go try. I might be able to roll it out. It doesn't need to be very thick. Probably about 0.6 mil thick. And I might be able to get the right length out of that piece. Let's give it a go. Now the problem is we don't really have a lot of gold left over. Now if I can find my scale, we can actually weigh it. Got it. Now I think the best thing would be boil this wire up so we can actually see what it weighs. Jeez, doing everything wrong this one. That's 0.8 grams, 1.2 grams. Let's go melt that and start making the bale. Now full disclosure, I've never actually used this side of the pouring block. But I think in this case it's needed because we don't have a lot of metal, and I don't really want to add any of my metal to it, seeing that it's all Sentimental gold. And I need to calculate exactly how much of my gold I'm adding because I need to charge the customer accordingly. And it's going to prove a little bit difficult because I can't weigh the gold we've already used because it's on the shell. And so I kind of make sure we calculate the balance of the metal to see how much of my metal I'm going to add. Probably for the tag. I think we'll have enough for the bale if I pour it this way, but I don't think there'll be enough for the tag. We'll have to see how this pour goes. Everything depends on this pour. If this works, then it'll be good and I don't have to add gold. But if it doesn't work, I'll have to use a different block, and then I'll have to add extra gold. I'm going in a little bit. Gone in. That's what she said. Look at that. I wonder if I can roll that piece long enough for a bale. It's getting a bit longer, so I can actually roll it now without removing it. It dropped in again. See, it's a bit longer already. I need it to be at least 12 miles long. Let's measure it. It's 0.6. Usable bit. Roughly 18.5 to 19. So I think we can use that. So this is our piece. We just rolled out. So what I'll do, we will make the one side straight and then make our measurements from there. So what I might do, bring this side in so I can get tip there and there. So I'm trying something else. I know I did say let's make it straight, but I just had the idea that if we file it kind of into the shape we need, we'll have less offcuts. And I want it to be quite bulky looking because the hole on the pendant is so large. I want this to kind of fill the void, so to say. See, now I can potentially, when I anneal it, I can bend it, get those tips to almost touch. Jeez, filling the void, tip touching. What the hell is this channel coming to? So let's sand that extra burr away. Ideally, I should actually engrave the stamp onto it now, but I think it'll cause a bit of problems. Let's anneal it. Okay, now it's time to bend it. Now, if you want me to do a dedicated video on how to make a bale easily and accurately, let me know, and I'll gladly do a dedicated video. It's just I don't have time right now in this video to explain everything. That's the long and the short of it, because I could stop making videos of making customer stuff. I'm always on a bloody deadline. But yeah, we all know that's not going to happen anytime soon. Well, except apart from the video series to be starting soon about casting in-house. There we go. Probably can't see it past my thick fingers. Here we go, the bale.
and it's a nice bulky one. It's nicely shaped. I think it's cool. I might just file a little bit half round, get a bit of shape, but I kind of like that. I think that's going to work really well. I might actually have the curl in a bit like so, so we have the tip going past there, and then it'll fill up the jump rings even more. It's exactly what we want. So I'll clean this up and then grab the pendant from the curing tank and then put it together, and I'll show you how to do that. So I've just finished making the bail. Now I've got to remove the shell from the curing tank. See how that looks? Just started bucketing down all of a sudden. Don't know if you can see, probably not. It's almost like the sun is still shining and it's raining. Probably can't see it. Never mind. Let's get the pendant. There it is. Still can't decide which side should be the front. I think this side should hang at a slight angle, which I kind of think is cool because this point is in-centered. Well, that's it for today's video. Now I've just got to wait for the customer to come in and see what she says. Hopefully she likes it and she might choose this chain or the thinner one. Wait and see. So I'll play out the video with her reaction. I'm waiting for her to come in. I'll be recording her reaction on what she says and we'll take it from there. So let me know what you think of this. Is this something you'd consider doing? If you have any questions, just pop it in the comments below. I've been your host, the Chunky Jeweler. I'll see you next time. Keep creating. Oh, that's so cliche. I need to work on something. Let me know in the comments what I should say in the end. Stay sparkly, keep creating. Yeah, I think I'll probably go for the other one. I don't often wear necklaces, so I might something else to do that. Yeah. That's fine. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. A big mirror is there. I can turn it. I'll put it on. It looks really nice. Yeah. I'll tell you. We want to put it up behind the door. Yeah. I'll try it on with the other one as well. I think it's nice. Yeah, better.